Hi guys, it's Luna and welcome back. Today, first of all, you can hear people in the background. I don't know I can't tell you. I'm very frustrated. But today we're going to be talking about Yaoi and Yuri and my frustrations with it. Because on one hand, I can see why it's problematic. On the other hand, it doesn't necessarily need to be problematic, but it is because of the stigma around it. But also, I feel like this whole genre is it's underrated. Is that a word? I don't know what it's saying. It's looked down upon so much that it just, it almost like it ruins it, low-key. If you don't know what Yaoi and Yuri is, it's literally just girl on girl and guy on guy. Like, it really is. It's literally just the romantic or sexual relationship between a woman and another woman, or a guy and another guy. And you would think that with that being said, with as many animes revolve around two people's relationship, or have something to do with two people's relationship, being a guy and a guy or a girl and a girl, you would think that there would be so many other categories it would be under. No, they're mainly under the drama, romance, or slice of life. And I'm sick and tired of it. I really am. I would love action ones and thrillers. And don't get me wrong, they're like the sports ones. Well, I don't think Free is. I think people want Free to be a yaoi, but I don't think it is. But Yuri on Ice, they're an example of one. Killing Stalking is an example of one. There are yaois and yuris in different categories that aren't just the main ones they're usually under, or they're just porn, because not all yaoi and yuri is porn. People seem to think that, especially the sites, but no, let me address it, because this is a frustrating thing. When I first started researching this, I went to go look up all of them so I could see if oh, maybe there's one I'm missing or I'm forgetting about. Okay, no, hear me out, because this is frustrating to me. I was looking under, all anime category, and then just filtering out yaoi and yuri and things like that, or looking under those categories. They were straight up just sending me to porn. As soon as I was doing that, they were just straight up sending me to porn. Almost every website I looked up was sending me straight up to porn, or they were just sending me to the shitty underrated ones. I'm there are several of them, and these are supposed to be the big sites that are we have all of the animes and mangas here, and I'm just then why are you sending me to rando ones that were made in 1985 or some shit? Why aren't you sending me any new ones? I don't understand. I was mad frustrated. And then I finally, after getting around to it, I'll be sent to those same sites, and I'll actually finally see the catalog of yaoi and yuri that they have. And I understand in some sense, because I feel like it started out that way. Let's be 100%. Yaoi and yuri just started out as, do you not want to see the gays? Let's be 100%. Do you not want to see the gays? Can you just, here's a whole category for you guys. Stop putting in the main stuff. When you look up romance, you're probably gonna see maybe one or two actual, or you used to be able just to see one or two actual yaois and yuris. If you look up porn, you'll probably get a way better search when looking for yaois and yuris. But no, when the regular thing, just looking up a romance anime, you're probably gonna see a guy and a girl, whatever, or something like that. You're not gonna really see yaois and yuris like that. You have to go into the category to be able to see them, unless they're really, really popular. But back in the day, it really wasn't that. Even just the feeling of reading them was really taboo now thinking about it. Was it just me who used to read yaois and yuris when I was younger, and it would just be the romance ones that I would find in library or whatever, because I used to read books a lot. I still read books, but it's more online. But when I used to go to the library and I would read books, I would find them all the time, and I would be reading them, and I just feel I should be hiding this, not because it was an anime, not because it was a manga, specifically because it was a yaoi or yuri, as if this shit isn't in heterosexual animes or some shit. I'm not just reading a romance novel. It just felt almost forbidden. It was weird. Because again, not all of it is porn. Not all of it is clean, but not all of it was porn. I remember even watching Gravitation. I was really shocked on how, it wasn't as sexual as I remember it. I remember watching Gravitation and thinking it was just this overly, or just having the thought this was this overly sexual thing, or this forbidden weird anime. Then I rewatched it recently and I'm no, this was just an old quirky anime about a relationship and drama and romance. This is not different from anything else I've read. It really wasn't. The twists were kind of okay, but I've seen worse. And not in the yaoi and yuri category. I've seen worse. It's just weird. I don't understand understand. And I guess, so that's why I kind of get why some people only see it as fetishization. Is I don't really, especially nowadays, I don't see those types of animes or manga in that category. I'm just like, that's a dumb romance novel. You know what I mean? Or that's a dumb romance anime or manga. I don't really try to see it any other way because it's literally just a romance or drama anime, but dude on dude. Like, it's not any different. So when I see people talking about how problematic it is and things like that, and I'm like, it doesn't really help when you are trying to push it into this category and keep it there of like, oh, it's either porn or it's drama or it's romance. That's it. And when I say that, I mean, obviously that's in it because that's the point of it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that has to just be what it is. Think of all the romantic relationships that are a part of a lot of anime or TV shows that you watch. All of them don't just fall into the romance category. Sometimes there's action, there's extra stuff. There are other things that fill the time other than I'm a maid at a cafe, I work at this office, oh, my boss is in love with me, I need to make sure I keep my job professional. Like, I get it, like that's popular, but like, I don't care. Can we stop with that one? That one's kind of getting annoying. It's a little bit. Just a smidgen. It's just getting a smidgen annoying. Can it be that? But robots, can't there be like drama in the sense of betrayal or real, like something real intricate? Like there has to be another story over it. And that can be a thing. That exists too. And that's the thing that we see all the time. And I don't want to say regular anime because I don't think of it as like regular anime. But heterosexual. Let's go with that. Heterosexual anime, we see that type of shit all the time. Like, it's not just in the category of romance anime. There are like 4 other categories locked onto it. I literally sometimes couldn't find the anime unless I literally only looked up the name of the anime and put romance and Yuri in it. Like, if there any other tag it could be under, sometimes even slice of life, you weren't even gonna find it. And it's like, it's that weird separation that I don't really like. Like, I understand in some cases it's very problematic if it's just a bunch of people wanting this weird, if the whole genre is what the whole genre is right now, which is weird hypersexualization of a same-sex couple. But I feel like every time someone tries to like go out from that genre, people almost forget or try to disassociate it with what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes people do that with like Yuri on Ice, but it's kind of hard because of the name and because of how a lot of people present it. So like, some people are like, oh, I just see that as an anime. A lot of people are like, oh, I see that as a yaoi. Well, it's like, can't it just be an anime? We can't just be an anime because it's actually really good. And Free does similar shit. They just don't be sucking each other's dicks. So like, at that point, it's like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, Free is okay because they're not sucking each other's dicks. Yuri on Ice gotta be in a totally different category. It's like, I don't get it. And to be fair, that's not about relationship, but you get what I'm saying. The fan service part is really there. Let's be honest here. Like, the fan service part of it it's there. And Yuri on Ice doesn't really necessarily have, well, it has fan service, but I feel like it's a relationship and a romance based anime, or not based, but a romance included anime, let's say like that. Like, it has it in there. It's not necessarily the whole thing, because obviously the whole thing is the skating. It's the point. You get what I'm trying to say. But there are a lot of animes that focus in part on someone's relationship and people's relationship with each other, but also focus on maybe a theme, a sport, robots taking over the world, them being superheroes, whatever. Like, it could be whatever, and that is like, could be seen or is seen most of the time as more normal. Hell, Fruits Basket is a prime example. It's, let's be honest, it's a relationship between her and the harem of dudes. Or is it a harem if it's a girl and a bunch of guys? Is that a harem or reverse harem? I always get harems confused. What is a harem? Now, I guess if it's a girl and a bunch of dudes, then it's a reverse harem. My point is, there's really not much that's different. It's just, we want to separate it. And I feel like, again, a lot of yaois and yuris just don't get the credit, whether it's the animation, the story, whatever, that they deserve. And it's kind of frustrating in a way, because honestly, the genre doesn't need to just stay in the romance, slice of life drama area. As we saw with Yuri on Ice, it can go into sports. Like, it can go into fucking every other genre and just have same-sex couples. But in this sense, especially in anime, like Yaoi and Yuri is the perfect category for having that representation, and people are just like, nah, that's porn. And I'm like, it's not though. It's not though. Hell, some of these animes that we swear, like fucking, what's that one girl's name? You know I'm thinking about that one girl with the big boobs and she was really short, Dragon Maid. A lot of these things we swear they're animes, they're perfectly fine, and we don't consider them porn. For some reason people just be watching them like it's regular, and I'm just like, but Yaoi has to be in the configuration of porn every single time. Every time I look it up I have to find like 22 porns. Like people will do that. Well, they'll take animes and whatnot and mangas and they'll not judge them because, okay, this is a whole other conversation, but critiquing something and wanting something to shut down entirely is different. If someone's critiquing your manga or anime or your story and you just happen to be a part of the LGBT community, or your characters happen to be that, and someone's critiquing it, or people are a little bit hard on your shit, I don't care. That's how it works. If you're making it for other people and then you're mad that other people just don't love it because you worked really hard on it, I don't know what to tell you. Get out of that industry. It's like me making my drawings for other people to like it and people start correcting my anatomy and shit because they feel like I can improve or something like that. Like, stop making it for other people if you don't want other people not to like it. Like, if you're making it for yourself, at that point it doesn't matter what other people say. It really shouldn't, because it's for you. It's not for them. If you really have a problem with it, you could just get off the internet. It's really not that serious. I'm not saying anybody should be harassing somebody or that's okay. I'm saying just like simple critiques or people going a little bit harder, and that I don't give a fuck about. But people genuinely wanting to take down, harass a creator solely because their content is not cookie cutter perfect example of whatever is so dumb. Killing Stalking was a prime fucking example of that shit. Killing Stalking is a manga about basically someone who's going through a whole Stockholm syndrome type shit where they're in an abusive, I wouldn't even call this a relationship, but let's go with relationship right now, an abusive relationship with a killer. Like, I mean, chained, handcuffed, beaten, whole 9 yards. People were so offended and mad about this manga as if this was actually supposed to, this is another example of a yaoi by the way, but this is supposed to be like this perfect example of a romantic relationship, and this is supposed to be like, yeah, I'm reading this and I should have a romantic relationship just like this. And it's like, usually this is what ratings are for. This is why you can't just go into stores and buy porn as a 14-year-old kid. When there's an anime with a rating or a warning on it or whatever, which most mangas, anime, TV shows, anything has, there's a reason you need to read that, because it usually gives you an age range of, hey, if you're this age, you got the common sense to know this is not reality. This is not real. This is not something that you should just model your relationships after. Plus it's triggering, but also this is not anything but a fictional story that may or may not happen. It's like if CSI depicted that shit and people were getting mad at them, like, oh my god, you're depicting this type of relationship and this person still wanting to be with that other like, I can't believe that you would depict something like that. It's like, I'm for CSI. You knew what you were getting into when you started watching this. And with that book, and I think the problem I heard a lot of people talking about is that the character didn't really see it as bad as it was, obviously, because again, they had Stockholm syndrome. It was the whole thing. They were obviously not in a healthy relationship, and then people were up in arms about that. But you're steady looking at fucking Harley Quinn and thinking, well, that situation's okay because she finally got out, but nigga, you're forgetting that she killed a bunch of people for that man also, and she was helping people, and she only got out. You only now know that she got out because it's an entire series, but back when she was killing people and there was no end in sight, and you weren't reading the comic books to know all this shit anyways, seemed to have no problem with it. Bitches were dressing up as her as Halloween every time she's doing something bad or kills somebody for no reason or blows something up, or she's basically not the good guy. No one seems to have a problem with it anymore. To be fair, they've been making her the good guy a bit more lately, but before she wasn't shit. She still wasn't shit. She still killed people because she could. Put people in danger still does shit like that. Does not care about anybody's life but her own. Is she supposed to be like the perfect person for me to look up to? Like, because she's now trying to be, by her own words, better and the good guy? No, like I think I'm an adult and I have common sense to know I shouldn't be looking up to Harley Quinn as my my role model. And in the Killing Stalking book, you should not be looking up to this person as a good example of relationship. The only person who would do that, kids. And kids shouldn't be reading it. And if their parents are watching them and don't see that they're not, like, if your parent isn't watching you to where you're reading a whole ass, like, manga, several books of it, of an abusive relationship, that is nobody's fault but theirs. How was I supposed to know that you're watching this? It's like having your fucking 10-year-old watching Game of Thrones and somehow it's fucking George R.R. Martin's fault for your child seeing some incest and some killing and gross shit, like, ugh. So much. It's like, no, that's your fault. You could have turned off the TV. It's really not hard. Watch what your kid's doing. Even then, that's another example of, like, watching Game of Thrones. All of a sudden, we know not to do all these things these people find okay or are doing, you know, all the killing, all the raping, all pillaging, all that is, it's okay to see that as terrible when it's depicted as a normal thing. But in this book, to have the common sense not to do that, oh my god, it's crazy. Having common sense not to do a random thing you saw in a book, it's crazy. It's out of control. I can't believe it. I think I just went on a ramble. I need to stop. Honestly, there's more I could say, but let me just end it off here with this. I want to see there not be this weird separation between Yaoi and Yuri in regular anime. I get back in the day, it was a way so you didn't see the gays anymore. But at this point, can we just like make Yaoi and Yuri content and add some other genres to it and normalize it as just anime, as not Yaoi, as not Yuri specifically and only, but anime, just in that category. Like, it's weird when I can say that, it's weird when I can say Ouran High School Host Club, the anime about a girl being sexually harassed and stalked by a bunch of people she owes money to that are weird, like get into her personal space and, like, I mean literally stalk her and just be all up in her personal space, get information they shouldn't have about her and just be absolute weirdos. How that can be considered an anime, and a normal one at that, maybe a romance anime or a harem or something like that, but it can still be considered just anime. We have something like Yuri on Ice and I have to be like, okay, well, it's a yaoi, or I have to specifically find it under either the name or that category, and I'm not gonna find it. And maybe that's a better example of something that you actually will find, but there's so many ones that I have watched, like Gravitation and whatnot, and I literally have to either find it under the name or the category. And it's like, why can't I just look under anime and find this? Why is Yaoi and Yuri so cut off from everything else? I don't understand. I want it to be better. I like seeing romantic relationships between people that are of the same sex or whatever. I like seeing that. But I also like seeing giant robot fights. Can't we have both? Why can't I have both? It's just clan ad, but the guy's a girl. Even something like School Days, but the guy's a girl. Anything, but the guy's a girl. The girl is a guy. Just guy on guy, girl on girl. What? Why? It's even hard to find the harem ones under the harems. I don't understand. I don't get it. This is not all sites and all things, but it's just hard. I don't understand. Anyways, let's have a discussion about this because this is genuinely a bothersome thing to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not looking up enough. Maybe I don't know. But I just want more out of this genre that's not fucking drama, romance, and slice of life. It doesn't basically follow the same exact pattern. Want more. Anyway, I will see you guys. Goodbye.
Just remember this. We could have been stardust, same world but without us. Something made us find each other out.